night, everybody. Well, first of all, congratulations, 60-day challengers, January, February, March 2023. Yes, right? This event is by far, I know our anniversary party was great, but really, this event that we have twice a year really defines what we do. The fact that you guys came every day for 60 days and probably like me did a lot of doubles, you know, to finish the 60 days, and then to have you come to this event and tell your story, your journey, your testimony, just what it took for you to do 60 days is so inspiring. So thank you for your courage. Thank you for deciding and making the choice to be here to share this, because it does inspire others to start yoga practice maybe that haven't, and then maybe others too that haven't quite done a 60-day challenge or come as often as they could come. So yay, congratulations on 60 consecutive days. I bet at the end a little challenging, right? That happens sometimes. You guys, stats tell us that most people quit their 60-day challenge between the 40th and 50th day, right? When you're really close to the end, you guys are nodding, me, myself too. I did 55 days and I've got doubles to do. Do I really need to do it? And there was a part of me that's saying, no, I don't need to do it. But you know what? That's right, the determination that we dig into. So without further ado, we're on Facebook Live too, because our live stream is not working, and there's many, that want to take a listen to your stories too, everybody. So why don't we go ahead and get started? And really, again, this night is all about you. So we'd like to hear your story, and we don't need to call any names, but why don't you let us know who wants to talk first and celebrate your accomplishment. Who might that be?
I'll go first because I've gone.
Yay! Sundar in the house.
I'll be the icebreaker for all you guys.
And I'm going to have you stand. There you go.
Yeah. So this was my 13th challenge. So,
wow.
Yeah. So 13 years, 13 challenges. And I'm not going to tell you guys something new that I haven't said before. So, but every challenge is different, and this year's challenge was also different. I hurt my knee. I banged my knee against the license plate holder of the car. They should redesign those things because they are just at the right height to bang into your knees. So, and that was like day 50. So the last 10 days, you guys know how I was really struggling with it, because I come here every day, but still suddenly you get a curveball, you have to adapt and you have to do it. So my message to you guys is, if you have not tried this before, try it at least once, and just keep coming, because you always learn something new, because you go into zombie mode. Sometimes, at least I do, when I'm in the 60-day challenge, because you come, and then sometimes you are doing something subconsciously without realizing it, and then you're like, shit, I did something right now, but I forgot how I did it. So those moments happen during 60-day challenges for me. They don't happen during a regular class, but those are the hardest things for me. Even today, you said something, and you said, move your crown of your head towards me in triangle pose.
That's right.
And you're laughing at me because for you to move your crown of your head in that direction, you have to automatically drop your hip. That's the only way this happens. So, but I think that's what you wanted me to do, but you made me do it by saying something else. So that is the end result that counts. So for a split second, I was like, I did it, but I'm like, what the hell did I do to do this? Because it felt good.
Yeah.
So
you were in one line, right?
So it's like, yesterday you said that too in the evening when Chris and me, you said we were both in the same line. You did the same
right.
thing.
That was beautiful,
so,
actually.
And I looked at him and I know what you were talking about, because I couldn't see myself. So it's interesting. So just it's a constant exploration. Every day you learn something new, and when you keep doing it continuously, some things click magically. So I really encourage all of you to try this at least once. So, and Michelle, thank you. You always push me to.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know, first came with a big injury to, right, your
Yeah.
wrist and arm. And I remember you were just so sad that you couldn't quite pick up your babies at the time, right? So I just want to share with you guys, he has been coming how many years now?
Just 13.
13 years and several challenges, and you still continue to learn. You're charismatic. You're so great with all the students here. And I know the yoga is just pouring out more of who you are. And I love that you share that and continue to grow, you know, with us and yourself and with us as a community. It's amazing. So yeah.
You guys are the extended family. Thank you.
Yay! Picture, and you get to choose. So you guys, we have these really cute travel bags this time. Do you see them? Aren't they adorable? Yes. And you get to pick this here. You want one of these, one of the orange bottles, or another one of the bags to yourself.
I'll just take this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, guys. And this year is special because she did it with me. So she.
Sakita, come on up.
No, Suguna.
Did
She didn't do it. My mother-in-law did it this time with me.
Wow, come on up,
We started on
Suguna.
the same day 13 years ago, but this is the first time she's managed this challenge.
Unbelievable.
And she just turned
You guys, this is Sundar's mother-in-law, Suguna. Let's give it up. Come on over here, Suguna. Congratulations. So you've tried it many times, and this is the first time you finished.
No. Actually, I traveled to India back and forth, so I'm never here for the signing up that particular trial. So I always miss out. This year, now I turned 70 this year, so I wanted to do it at least when I am turning 71. 13 years he has been doing. I started with him Bikram Yoga, so I wanted to do at least. It's in my bucket list. I ticked it this year. So I came on 12th of January from India, 13th January I signed up. Yeah, I came only for doing the 60-day challenge in January. I'm going back in June back to India. Yeah,
I love having you here. Do you want to say anything about yoga and your experience?
Of course, this Bikram Yoga I've been doing. Whenever I am in Bay Area, I immediately, at least day card, 20 days or 10 days card, I buy and do it. And I miss it. And these postures, I continue to do it on my own in India also. I take yoga classes there also, and I am not taking, I am attending. So to my teacher, I tell some of the poses like eagle pose, some that separate leg, all those things, no? Triangle, all those things are common, no? Even in Hatha Yoga, they are all common.
Right.
So I tell her, then she teach other people also.
Wow.
So I do in India also, so that I can maintain my flexibility. So whenever I come back, I can pick up. That is it.
That's great. And now you got
Thank
your
you.
daughter in it too.
Yeah, she joined last year. we family.
Yes. The three of you
Family.
guys love it
Yeah.
when you come together.
Yeah.
Right?
Thank you very much.
You look great, Suguna. Thank you. Yeah, you're a pleasure. Beautiful. All right. You get to choose your wonderful gift. Celebrate your accomplishment. Yeah.
I go to a lot of classes in India. I can carry.
Yes, right? Proudly. So you turn this way so that. Awesome. Congrats, Suguna. Come on up. Congratulations. That's so awesome. And I know I haven't seen you in a while. Yeah. Take it over. Yeah, that's great. Really great.
So
Yeah.
I want to tell you a story that starts actually in the early 2000s. It's about Bikram and about you and about this place. So I was in not a good spot in my life emotionally. Some disappointment, loss, nothing that major, but for me it was like the end of the life, okay? So, very painful. And a good friend of mine said, do you know what? There is nothing you can do about your emotional pain. Just take it in. With time, it's gonna get better. However, you can do something about your physical health. Do some breathing, do some meditation, focus on that. And find a group, find a place where you are part of the group. You are not standing in front, you are not alone. You are part of the group, just there. 5 days later, I work in San Francisco. At that time, I worked. 5 days later, 2 blocks from my work, I look at the door that says, Funky Door Yoga. Do you know that place? I mean, yes. It's not there anymore, but... And I went there and said, what is that? And I was blown away. And I could not get enough of it. I need the intensity of the heat, the intensity of the experience, the fact that I discovered my body in a way that I didn't know I could. And now actually I'm realizing what happened. With the struggle to survive in this class, yeah? You learn how to breathe, how to control yourself, how to stay, how to survive this torturous 90 minutes that after the class actually make you so happy. And by doing that every day, I forgot about my emotional pain. And I was, oh my God. So many things happened since then. I moved here 3 years later. Wow. So in 2003 or 4, wow. I was looking for Bikram Yoga. Wow. And I found it. I live in San Jose, like 10 miles away from here. But I found your place. Yeah. And oh my God, I was so happy. Yeah. And that's the thing. Bikram Yoga, like the thing is that wherever you go, you find your family. Yeah? Yeah. It is the same thing. And the teachers are wonderful. And Michelle, you are my temple. Temple of health, temple of rediscovery. I know that I'm not the example of consistency. I have been with you for a long time, but off and on, off and on. But whatever I need to rejuvenate or to find again myself, or this is the place. So, in January 19, I knew I was off the wagon. And January 19 blood test confirmed it. And so I said, no, I'm not gonna do medications. I'm just gonna do diet and Bikram Yoga. But I was not ready for the 60-day challenge. So I come off and on, and Sarah, she knew what is best for me better than I knew. Sarah, she's like, come on, sign. It is the last day almost. I said, so I cannot do it. I haven't done it for 2 years. I cannot, yeah, you can do it. Just come here and sign. And I was like, oh my God. Okay, I'll do it. I signed it. And thank you so much. Thank you so much, because it is, at the end of April, there are other blood results that we'll see what will happen. But I feel much better. It is, it's always a breeze. So, and all the messages from all the teachers that you hear, the dialogue is always the same, yeah? Yeah. Always the same. But sometimes you guys throw these little pieces of diamonds that's like, oh, right. And I love the messages, like Sarah says, kill yourself to get reborn. And who was talking about the yoga bliss? It's like if you give your 100%, you get the yoga bliss at the end. You're not like, okay, I feel okay. You get the yoga bliss. So you guys are wonderful. Thank you so much.
Well, we believe in it too. Yeah.
So Oh,
What do you
no.
guys think, right? You're so enthusiastic and bubbly. And does this mean you're going to stick with it as much
Oh,
as you
yes,
can?
yes.
Yeah. And, you know, you guys, I'm so proud of all of you because I know Sarah encouraged you, right? But you guys really encourage each other, and that's a big part of this community too. It takes a little bit sometimes, right? And then boom, before you know it, you're doing something that you didn't think you could do. So,
Absolutely.
congrats, girls!
Thank
Yay,
you.
yay, yay! Awesome. Your choice. Congratulations.
Lloyd.
Looking good, my friend, too. Congrats.
Thank you. I will attempt to be quick, and because I know that typically when I get a microphone, I talk way too long. But there are oftentimes there are 2 days. I know. There typically are 2 days that I really do celebrate. One is my birthday, which is June 23rd, and then the other one is November 8th. And I tend to celebrate November 8th because I say that was the day that really gave me a new lease on life. And I say that because in October of 2010, I went to my doctor because I have a lung disease, and I've always had trouble breathing, and so my doctor said to me in October of 2010 that he says, everything about you is great. Your blood pressure is fine, and everything is fine. And he says, have you ever thought about meditating? And I was like, well, not really. And I said, but I was thinking about doing yoga. And he said to me, you really should do that. And so in November 8th, 2010 was the first day that I took a Bikram Yoga class. And from that moment on, things really changed, and no longer were they talking about needing to go in and clear my lungs so that I could breathe. And so I've continued to do the practice since then. I tell people I don't do this practice because I love the heat. And I never tell people I love Bikram Yoga. I never say that. But I say that Bikram Yoga loves me. And because it loves me, then I try to give all that I can back to it. And I do want to say that while I'm appreciative of all the teachers, and at every moment I've said I hate them, okay? And every one of them I've hated them at some point. But it's love. I love them. But every one of them I've said I've hated at some point. But I will say that I absolutely love each one of them because I think they're the ones who make the studio what it is. But even more so, that 5:30 crew, I got Thomas and Jakey and Aisha and Josh, Jill. It's those folks that really make our class fun in the morning. And so they're the ones who really sort of kept me going through the challenge. This is my second challenge. The first one, I have to blame Aisha for that because she forced me to do it. And then the second one, this one, Christine said, I signed you up for the challenge, so you're doing it. So one, I want to thank all of my yoga buddies, my yoga family, the crew for pushing me and for us pushing each other. So thank you all so much.
Yeah, you guys, the moment you moved here, your personality was so infectious, right? And then to see Christine get a hold of you, it was like, uh-oh. Front row, and then, yeah. But it's great. Thank you so much for what you give everybody too at 5:30 a.m. You guys are so close. It's so great to see you all laughing, that early in the morning too. So yeah, way to go.
Thank you.
Congratulations, right? I know you did a lot of doubles, right, too. Yeah, that week where you were gone, right? Yeah, you still did it. That's great. It's awesome. Good, and I'm glad your health is better.
It is.
Sharing that with us too, right?
I'm doing this so I can travel with it.
Thank you, Lloyd. guys clap for Raj for the challenge. Yep. You don't have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep it brief. First of all, thank you. I was born in Iran, in Persia, and at 4.5 years old, I had to leave the country because there was a civil unrest. So I traveled. As a young child, I traveled to England. I lived there for a while. Turkey, Syria, Nebraska, which is like a country in itself, very different. But it really is. All the states in the United States are very different. And then I made it to California at 11 years old. And so the word refugee and taking refuge in something has been a big word for me, because I left a lot of family there. But in Buddhism, in the teachings of the Buddha, he says you take refuge in 3 things: the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. So why is this so special for me? I've known you for many, many years. What's so special for me is because I believe here we have all 3. And this is a refuge place for people. We have the Buddha, which is the teacher.
Yeah.
Everybody believes in the teacher. As you're the first example of it. But more than that, this is a place that stays true to Bikram Yoga.
Yeah.
And if you've ever been anywhere else who doesn't stay true to that, you know the sloppiness that occurs. It's not sharp. There's a sharpness here because there is the teacher. Then there's the Dharma. Everybody believes the 26 postures in the heat works. And we can all take refuge in that. And finally, I think, and that's what this is the Sangha, which is the community. Right? And it really, truly is really an incredible community, isn't it?
Yeah.
So for myself, the 6-day challenge, it's a life practice for me now. That's what I do. But more than that, it allowed me to hang out with some really, really great people for 60 days. And they were kind of forced to hang out with me and get to know me, which was great. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, you're going to get to know the tattooed guy, right? Find out what he's like. You have no choice. We're in the same class. Sit down and talk to me. You can only run away for so long and not look at me and stare. We're going to have to talk. We have 60 days together, bro. I see you every day. You're my neighbor. You're going to have to say hi or it's going to get awkward at some point. So for me, it allowed me to make some friends. So thank you very much, Michelle.
You were calculating, I think I've known you, 17, 18 years?
I think so.
Yeah.
She looks exactly the same, literally. Like, I have the image of you in my mind always looking like that.
Oh, thank you
Sure.
for that. Yeah. And Arash has always been so beautiful and kind with me, always. And the thing about him, and he knows this too, I feel like his wonderful spirit, comes right out through his skin. Can you guys feel that, all the time? It's funny because I know you're tattooed, but you can't really hide who you really are beautifully, right? You know what I mean? It's really great. And honestly, I love that you're here all the time. And I feel inspiration to you that you've made this a choice to be part of your everyday. I love that.
This is what I've been doing in my practice. I will be here for the next 11 and a half years.
Yeah, and you know what?
I know that. No, I know. I've decided.
So you don't
11
know
and a half
him,
years.
and you're going to have to get to know him because he's going to be here for a long time, right?
11 and a half years. Then we'll decide after that.
After that, yeah.
I'd like to thank my Indian family.
Yeah, right. But you wouldn't be here if it didn't have value to you.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So,
Without a doubt. This is Bikram Yoga works, dude.
Yeah.
And that's it. I've been an athlete for a long time. I don't like to talk about myself, but it's a very high level. It's magic. I mean, I don't need to tell you that. You know that. That's why we did it. Okay. So thank you. Thank you. I'm going to take one of these. I have enough bottles. Yes, baby bottles.
Oh, I love it. Let's see. How about Rohit? No. Yeah. Come on up, Rohit. Okay, Robbie, you come up. Okay. Then you're next, Rohit. Okay. And you look very nice. And congratulations. Yeah. You guys, Robbie.
The first thing is there is a Bollywood song of my childhood that relates to Bikram Yoga. I started on Yoga Day in 2021, almost 2 years. The song goes like, I I don't have anything other than you. And so forth. Tum bhi jaunga. You can Google it. We have some singers here. And I sing too. My mom was a singer. But anyway, today I want to praise Michelle for something that I experienced firsthand. That can be a case study. On December 26th, I almost broke my knee. I have a garden terrace and there's a canopy number 2, first one actually. And I have had 4 afterwards because of this 12, one after the other winter storms. But the first one hit me physically. The canopy buckled down and the steel rod hit me on my left knee. And I was kind of devastated. I'm 60 now, I'm not really young. So I'm like, my goodness, I don't have a contract for my company. My girlfriend has left me. I have nothing inside, so kind of frustrated. But kept a smile on. That's what my parents told me to do forever. So I kept coming here. I even gave her a pinky promise that I will not do the 3rd.
Yes.
I used to do 3 at a time.
No, don't even give me
that,
an idea.
That's
No.
not. That was a bad idea. That too when my knee was actually suffocating. So while I was trying on the Indian herbs, Chinese herbs, mainly turmeric juice and stuff like that, I started coming here because this heat helped me heal very quickly. And also doing postures that are actually very friendly for the knee. Maybe not so friendly for the rest of the body. But all in all, this is what helped my recovery. Now I can dance, not just sing. Thank you. No, it's been 4th.
Your 4th. Sorry, I know, it's amazing. Yeah.
I just do it.
Yeah, you just do it, and then you do it all the time. Yeah, there was a time you guys, Robbie did 3, right? And I know we get obsessed with our yoga practice, but 1 is enough. 2 if you need it because you're doing the challenge. 3, no, just because you'll dehydrate it and it's out of balance, which is not what yoga is
And
teaching.
you don't
Yeah.
necessarily do all of the poses. By the time you are able to
100%.
start.
Right. Yeah, you're not even doing the yoga, really. Yeah. Well, congratulations, Robbie, on doing it again. Yay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, right? These are kind of slick, I think, right?
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing your story. Yes, you guys. Love it. Come on up, Rohit. Beautiful, everybody. I love your great appreciation for the true Bikram Yoga, right? Because we've held on to that for 20 years and we'll continue to do that. And we're working hard to make sure that that continues for decades, more than that, to come, because it is so powerful in what it does. And I know you said magic, Arash, it's inexplainable. But it's real, it's true.
It's a miracle.
It is miraculous.
That's what it
I
is.
used to say that to you all the time, Sundar. And so just rest assured that that's what our mission is to continue it in the original, most authentic way. Rohit, I'm so proud of you. Congratulations, you did the challenge.
First time.
Saw you every day, every day.
I know, this time I got it done. Yeah, thank you. So for me, it was simple actually. My wife inspired me to come here. I tried it. I could handle the heat. I could not handle everything else in the old studio. So I bailed out after 3 or 4 weeks. Then I think I started 2 years later, and then I've been somewhat consistent. I think I'm able to do the postures. For me, it was always about time and consistency. So I almost did the challenge, I think 4 years ago, 40 classes, but to your point, after 40 classes, something happened and I couldn't do it. This time, it just worked out, I was able to do it all. And I think, like everybody else has said, I attribute it to 3 things. It's the sense of community that is here. I mean, you start coming regularly, you realize you're seeing the same people again and again, and they're all like you, and they're all going through it, and they're doing well. Second, I would say, yeah, Sarah, Matt, they've been pretty inspiring because they probably were seeing a lot of me in those classes because I was doing 9:15 every day this time. So that helped me sort of just listening to them and saying, yeah, you can improve your practice. And then finally, Michelle, I think you've created a great place here. It's a place where people can come together, they can find their inner peace, they can find what they want to find. And for me, it was all about, can I be disciplined enough to be able to do it? Because it was easy for me to say, I'm too busy. I've been busy, I travel a lot. I think I know a lot of people here essentially who probably changed their lifestyle after coming here. I'm not sure if I'm going to get there soon enough yet, but this is step one, I would say, this year, where I've been able to do it. So who knows, a few years later, I might be doing something more here. So thank you so much.
I'm just curious, right? You did the 40 days and then you did the 60 days. Do you find that there's something significant, or maybe not significant, but that's different in you accomplishing the 60 days, like energy, sleep, eat, whatever, like now that you've been consistent? Yeah.
Absolutely. I would say just the focus. I can feel like I can now focus. And to be able to finish the challenge, I think I have this now that, yeah, I can take things on and I can do them, right? Because, look, you can do 40 to your point, and the only reason I basically didn't do is a business trip came in, I went for 7 days, and to your point, the inertia of doing doubles for 8 days in a row just didn't happen. And this time, that consistency and that focus with all the teachers and everybody else, I was seeing the same faces every day, and I said, they're doing it, that's great. So yeah, absolutely.
That's great, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Congrats. Yay, well, yeah, we can take a picture. Yeah, thank you guys for sharing too, right? I mean, come on up, Miran. Come on up, I see your hands. Yeah, right, it's the little things, right, that make the big impact, and to, you know, practice. I love your word consistency. It's kind of been a word I use a lot. Yay, Miran! And then, yeah, consistency. Yeah, looking beautiful, Miran. Looking beautiful.
This is my third 60-day challenge, but I wasn't gonna do it this time because I think my last one was just right before COVID shut down everything, and I did that, and after that I was doing like from Zoom classes from time to time, because now I have 2 girls homeschooling my kids. I didn't have much time since I had them round the clock, 90 minutes at home without the kids. It's not a very easy thing to achieve or get. So when I came in January one day with my sister to do yoga, like I started coming this year again after COVID in person, and then my sister was here to visit me, so we started coming together on and off. And then one day Michelle sees me and she says, "Did you sign up?" And that was January 10th. I said, "No, Michelle, I can't do it." Because the last two 60-day challenges, I was coming during the daytime when my kids were in school and all that. So I said, this time I can't do it, because the only way I can do it is if I come early morning, and I'm not a morning person. I am not. So thinking about 5:30 makes me like, oh no, I can't. Then she says, you know Michelle, yes? With her infectious smile, she can convince a bald person to buy a comb. That's what. So she's like, oh, you can do 30 days. If not, you don't have to do 60. And she just gives me that nice smile. And I was like, maybe, yeah. And then she said, just go ahead and sign up. And I was like, I don't know. I can't come early morning every day for 60 days. That's not me. And then somehow she made me sign up. And I started coming in the morning at 5:30 every day. I won't lie, the first 2-3 weeks, I was just exhausted. Because not only I am not a morning person, I am also, I have gained the COVID 2030, and I was out of shape. So coming every day at 5:30 and then exercising for 90 minutes and a HIIT and then going home to have those 2 energetic girls all day was not easy. So I was like, okay, but I can do it. I can do it. So I started coming every day at 5:30, and then I found this amazing 5:30 crew that highly motivating, full of fun and encouraging. And before I knew it, I finished 60 days. And I'm so thankful to the teachers, Sarah, Matt, Carrie, everybody I see at 5:30, and everybody, all the teachers and all the 5:30 crew for encouraging me. Sharing energy. When I was tired, I didn't stop because I saw one of you giving your best to the class. So I'm so thankful to each and every one of you. Tom, Jackie, being next to you gives me so much energy. So my daughters, and I see my body changing, and I felt reborn because I felt like myself for the first time in 3 years. And my girls were very convincing. After 30 days, my older one says, I can make you a prize and you can stop. She's looking at me. And I said, no. And then at 60 days, she said, you're done. Why are you still going? I said, because I still like my yoga. And I'm so glad I started coming back. And I'm so glad I had that conversation with you that day. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it. I am so thankful and grateful to you, and grateful to each and every one of you that practiced with me next to me. And it just makes it so much more easier when you have a community that's loving, that's caring, that if you miss one day, takes you to see where you are and encourage you. I have done doubles, a couple of doubles, but it was all worth it. And I feel, like I said, why did I do this? Why not? I didn't come. And I said, this is the last time I will stop coming to class. And I find my body telling me every day, you're doing better with yourself. And it's really changing. Yoga is so, not only changes you physically, it changes you in a lot of other ways, emotional, being patient, being understanding of others. It's a journey that I want to take for life. And thank you, Michelle, for having this wonderful, amazing place for all of us, not just for me, for all of us to enjoy it and go through this journey, which is very rewarding. And thank you, each and every one of you.
I'm not done with you. You guys, Miran, years ago when you were doing the practice, I think the reason why I said that to you is I remember back then what you said this yoga was giving you.
Yes.
And you guys, during COVID, all those years, right, it really dragged us down and got us maybe out of character, right? We didn't remember a lot of things and maybe not remember what the yoga was giving us. So really, I mean, for me to say that was just because I saw what it had done for you before, and you just needed, that's again, the word encouragement, just a little bit of encouragement to go back and look at, and now you're taking it and soaring even higher. Yes. You look beautiful.
Thank
you.
You
Look so great.
Thank
yeah,
you.
and keep it going.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So is Miran a front row? Not yet? Not yet? Okay. Pardon me? Or there's not enough room for you guys to have everybody in the front row. Maybe that's it. Okay, who would like to speak next and share their journey? All right. Yay. Linda, you guys? Yay. Congratulations. Well, hi there. Helping your mom out again like you've been doing all these years. Yeah.
Hi everyone. Thank you. My daughter Rita can go up with me. This is my 7th 60-day challenge. And I want to start out what happened prior to this challenge. Last year I faced a severe injury. I had a snowboarding injury and had a glamorous fall, and had missed several months of yoga, which was terrifying for me during that point in life. And from coming every day to not coming to yoga for a few months. And then I slowly came back just 2 times a week, just start building again, twice a week. And first, I want to thank all the teachers and for helping my rehabilitation. I really had to retrain my brain. I couldn't do any of the postures. I had to start over again. And I still have some limitations, but I'm trying. I have to say also thank you to the 5:30 a.m. crew. Many of you are demigods, and I really look up to you, and just you're so motivating, and just seeing you daily keeps me coming. I also did the 12:30 class and the 4:30 and the 8 a.m. and 6 a.m. So all those crews are awesome too. But there's something special about the 5:30 a.m. and 6 a.m. on weekends. I have to mention also, this challenge, I have to say, I'm most proud of myself from all the things that happened. But I finished. And some days when I come home, I would be tired and would be a baby, and my daughter would tuck me in and, "You're okay, Mama?" So, thank you.
Thank you, Lily. I love your mom. You guys look so pretty together. Congratulations. Yeah. Got a little fling to it, right? Thank you. Thank you for helping your mom, Lily. You guys are a good partnership here. Yay. Thank you for sharing that, Linda. Right? It'd be easy to get frustrated. All right, Ravi Patel, out. That was wild. Congratulations.
This was my 3rd one, number 3. Congratulations to everyone. This is powerful, powerful stuff here. One, this is the best studio. I've done some Bikram Yoga at different places like Walnut Creek in Hawaii and stuff like that. This is the place. No, like what he alluded to, Raj alluded to, you've kept the original hot yoga, the original series, from day one. You've been true to the Bikram Yoga. So, because I know you trained in India. You did your training in India, right?
I did not.
No? I thought you did.
I did train with Bikram now. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, they've all trained with Bikram, and of course, and it's all, and it was Brad. I connected with Brad, and he got me back in. I've been in and out, on and off, but I'm really glad that I stick to it, and so many benefits. I can't even count. The mental benefits. I have ADHD. So after class, I'm a different person. I'm locked in. I passed a real estate exam. Recently, I got a government job. Bikram talks about your life will change in 60 days, 30 days, your body will change, 60 days, your life will change. So, of course, my weight started to drop, the water weight and all those things. And life has just gotten so much better. I enjoy it. You talk about the senses, right? Food and everything else tastes so much better. So, it's a priceless gift. It really is. And, I'm just glad that I stepped up to it. I started on January 1st because I knew there was all that mind talk in my head. And I just got here at that 10 a.m. class that Sarah was teaching. And I just kept showing up every single day, and there was times when it was raining, the weather was bad, and all things were happening. Life shows up, but no matter what, keep showing up, and that's what it's about. This is just wonderful. I feel great. Like I said, it's night and day for me. If you watch the Ravi that comes in, then you watch the Ravi after class. I'm a different person. Like I come alive after doing Bikram Yoga. I really do, and I'm so much to myself. I'm reserved and now I'm like, all I have to do is the best comprehensive workout that I can find. And 90 minutes on the mat, I'm locked in, focused, me against me, right? The battle is within myself. So, you know, just staying focused, and then after class, I get to enjoy what I've worked for, you know, in here. And of course the instructors, you know, and everyone that make this place, and everybody that shows up for their own journey, make it special as well. Thank you.
So well said. Thank you, Robbie. Right, and I think I can speak for all the teachers, that's why we do it. You know, we see it and it helps us too, and we see, right, what it's doing for you. And Robbie, you are always so grateful, ever since I met you many, many years ago. And I know that sometimes I wouldn't see you, but I knew you were always coming back because I knew that you knew what this was giving you, right? So thank you for inspiring all of us to want to continue to keep USJ going strong. So congratulations. I love to see you so alive, and things are going good for you. That's great. Yeah. Yay, everybody. Right. Yeah. Nice. Love it. Great words. So well said. Thank you, Robbie. All right. Yes, Sangita, come on up. Woohoo! You guys, round of applause. Sangita. Beautiful girlfriend. Congratulations to you. Yes, yes. Big hug. Yep.
Yeah, I think most of you know me coming. You know, I don't speak too much. I'm a pretty quiet person. But I just wanted to share, this was my second challenge. I did challenge in 2019 and it completely changed me. But then I used to live very close. In 2020, I moved far and I didn't know whether I'll be able to come back. But what happened was, I was going through injuries. So, of course, the knee thing happened, just like Ravi. You know, I was hanging hammock and I sat to test on it and I just fell. So I broke my ACL and meniscus. I was going through that and healing. But what happened next thing was my shoulder. My shoulder was hurting so bad, I couldn't sit, I couldn't sleep. I went to physio, I went to chiro. My husband like, you know, okay, whatever it costs, you know, pay for it and get treated. I went day after day, you know, every day I went for massage, I went to multiple places and I was still not healing, right? It was so painful and it was just hindering my sleep, my work, just being able to sit. So one day I just said, you know, I'm going to go back to yoga. It was far, and I know I spoke to Sarah, I spoke to Matt. I couldn't sit on Vajrasan because of my knee. And Matt would say, no, try, and I would be sitting on one side. But I tell you, after trying everything else, the miracle happened only in about a week or 10 days. I saw so much difference, right? I couldn't put my elbow here because of my shoulder, or even like breathing exercise was so painful. And I don't know what was going wrong and how it healed me, but I got so much better as I came every day, right? So, yeah, I mean, that's a miracle. And it only emphasized that it doesn't matter how far I go, and I actually, now I think I don't want to move too far anywhere in the future because I want to be able to come here, right? And I think like many of you, this studio, or even the old, I think this is the third one, and actually I'm coming from 2008 by the way.
Wow.
But not being regular, definitely on and off. But I come back here. I look up to you, I look up to all the teachers, and I watch them, and I try to follow and learn and try to get better every day, and it has really changed my life and took away my pain. So just wanted to share that.
Oh, that's so great. It's beautiful. Congratulations. Thank you. I vaguely remember, 2008, but how is your shoulder now?
much better. No
Yeah.
pain. No
Wow,
pain.
that's great.
So I know I'm asked
Yeah.
to do the surgery on my knee.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way, but my pain is so much better. I don't feel pain.
That's great.
So
That's great. So it's worth the drive,
absolutely.
right? Yeah. Keep it going, Sangeeta. It's great. Yes. Congrats. Beautiful. You look great too.
One thing I wanted to say is, today is my daughter's 21st birthday. She studies at Davies, and she just called me at 6 o'clock and she said, 8 o'clock I'm arriving, I want home cooked food. So I delegated a few things to my husband, I got to run, but I didn't want to miss this.
Well, happy birthday to your daughter, right? 21
Right,
wants to
right.
spend the time with mom. That's really good.
Yeah, and want the home cooked food, so I
And
got
home
it.
cooked food,
Yeah, so I'm
right,
like,
right,
I was asking Matt how long could it go, because I need to run.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you, and I'll see you everybody.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Yes, see you tomorrow.
Yes.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah. Congrats. Yeah, and you know, Sangeeta's just one of those like us. There's a voice in you that knows, right? That knows that this is the right place to be. That's cool. Who would like to go next? Luana, come on up. Woo! Congratulations. Oh my goodness. Yes. Say a lot. Say a lot. Look beautiful. Congratulations again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
So, what can I say?
How many?
I do yoga, this Bikram Yoga for many, many years. I think it's like 15, 17
Wow. And how many challenges have you done?
2.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Right,
but-
no, don't be
So
sorry.
I tried.
15 to 17 years, good job. Good job. You won. Yeah.
So, yoga is helping me to work, to make my body more flexible and to be focused.
Tell everybody what you used to do and what you do now. Tell them your brave story about
how I met.
Yeah. No, well, about how you worked for St. John's and then you went on.
Oh yes, I worked for Nostrum for many, many years. Actually, I met you in
Oh my
Nostrum, 20 years ago. You wanna know the story?
We used to do demonstrations in the women's activewear on the 3rd floor at West
in Valley Fair.
In Valley Fair.
Yes.
Yeah. And Ioana was the
feeder. I was doing feeding in Nordstrom.
Yeah, and saw us doing, you guys imagine, we're on this little pedestal doing our breathing. People are going up and down the escalator. You can hold this. And they were trying to do the breathing with us up and down the escalator, right?
Exactly.
And that's how I met you. That's right. I
Exactly.
forgot
And
about
then I said, what are you guys doing? Because I was starting Iyengar yoga, so which I did parallel with that. So from that time, I just fell in love with you, with the studio, and this is the 3rd studio I'm coming. And I just wanted to thank for all teachers.
But then you had the guts to do what? You had the guts to go out and open your own place.
Oh yes, that's you wanted to
Yes.
get there. So I was working in Nordstrom for 17 years also, and then I lost my job in 2008. And there was an opportunity for me to open my own business, and I was very, very, I didn't know what to do. I turned to Michelle and asked her, Michelle, what should I do? And she said, Ioana, we know 20% what you're doing, but 80%, heck, I don't know what you're doing.
And that
so
convinced
go
you.
for it. So I went for it, and here I am, the 11th year in my own business. I do operation, and if you guys are interested, you can come anytime, and I will help you. So yoga helping me to be able to work, because I'm also a workaholic, and help me to really be able to physically work and get into this, you know. So thank you so much.
Yeah, because you do it all,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm coming 3-4 times a week. So thank you, Michelle.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well done. Yay! Right, we get courageous. We take risks. All right, who else? Shaky! Another 5:30 a.m., right? Yeah.
Sweating in this room right now. Nothing, no surprise
Right?
there. Nothing new there.
Heat or not, right? We're still sweating in here.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Yeah.
What made me do the 60-day challenge? I figured why not? You know, I had started with my own personal 30-day challenge, and this yoga it changed me. It changes me every single day. Every single day that I sit in this room and I don't leave the room and I give 100% to my postures, it translates to other areas of my life that I can't explain. You know, it is magical. It has changed my relationship with myself, most certainly, my relationship with those around me. And the benefits, I reap them continuously throughout the day. And so I started with my own 30-day challenge, which was so exhilarating for me that I was like, you know, I think I'm gonna do 60. And then I went on to 60, and then I was like, I think I'm gonna do 90. And I went on to 90, and so when this 60-day challenge rolled around, I knew that I had to be a part of it. And it's not just the yoga, it's the connection and the community that keeps me here. Practicing next to Maran every day, it is something that I look forward to. Tom, everybody in the 5:30 crew, the teachers, you know, Matt's humor, I still laugh about his jokes sometimes during classes after he's taught them. Sarah's sass, I love her sass. Michelle beats the hell out of me every time I take her class, and I don't know, the connection and the community, it's so true and authentic and genuine. It is what I have sought my whole life, you know, and I found it here in Bikram. And I'm so grateful for it, you know, and thanks to my fiance, because he's the one who told me to come to the studio. Yeah, it's the gift that keeps on giving, certainly. And I too have had injuries, and this yoga has helped me, and it's just, it's miraculous, it is magical.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you
for sharing your story and being here with us. We adore you, Chaki. The moment you moved here, right? Yeah, it's great.
Thank you.
And you guys constantly give to each other, right? You really do. Yeah. And it just keeps growing. It's good soil, right? Good soil. Yeah.
Thank you.
Congrats. Awesome, JP. Okay, who am I missing? Maybe you two guys next time, right? Maybe. Why not? You're here. That's great. Thank you for being here, being supportive. Come on up there, Josh. Woo! Yes, congratulations. It is another 5:30 a.m. student, right? You guys are contagious. Maybe we all need to do the 5:30 a.m., right? Yeah. Josh, congratulations, buddy. Really nice to have you here too. Yeah.
I'll try and make this quick because I know it's getting late. But I basically moved here for this studio. It's worth it. I tried to do a 60-day challenge on my own with a different studio, and then COVID happened, and I think I got through like 30 days before I had to go home, and I still got through the 60 days, but I was just practicing in my bedroom, turning on the heater and ruining my computers. And then ended up buying a hot yoga dome and using that. And so I was living over in Livermore, and you know, the yoga there just isn't the same quality. And so, you know, I moved here partially for that, but also partially for work, but really it was for this. I mean, I was working closer to here, but, you know, now I have a new job over in San Francisco, and I don't want to move. I want to stay right here 5 minutes away from this studio because this community is incredible, the teachers and the power is, you know, just magical, like everybody's been saying.
I remember the first time that Josh came. Josh didn't live here. He came here to take a class, first time.
Yeah.
And he basically, he fesses up. He says, well, I'll come in to check this out because I'm like, I might move here if this works out. But I'm like, I'm not convinced. And so I'm like, okay, all right. He gets in the room and he just kills himself in the room.
It was a double. I was doing a double. Yeah, so this was my first 60-day challenge, and I successfully completed it, which is amazing, because partway through it, I almost died. It was when Laju was teaching an Anurag, and it was a double, and I did a double that day because I always go to the 5:30 a.m. classes, because it's changed. I just want to say, if you haven't been to the 5:30 a.m. classes, you should come and try and go to bed at like 9 p.m. and get up early, because it's going to change your life. I used to wear glasses to work, because I stare at a screen all day, and I don't have the worst vision, but my eyes would get blurry. And after going to bed early and getting up early and doing these early morning classes and being motivated by people like Lloyd, who would just say, I'll see you tomorrow, and so now I have no choice. I have to show up tomorrow. I don't even need to wear my glasses anymore.
Wow.
And I'm not tired all day.
That's great.
And so just the power of quality sleep and going to bed early is pretty amazing. So yeah, thank you to the 5:30 crew, and
do you want
thank
to
you to
share
all the
a little
teachers.
bit of your story? Just a little bit on how you...
I can,
yeah,
sure.
Go for it, yeah.
So I used to be into extreme sports, snowboarding, skateboarding, playing soccer, and have many, many injuries. I shattered my leg, dislocated my shoulder 4 or 5 times, dislocated my knee, cracked the kneecap, broke 3 wrists. Okay, I know I don't have 3 wrists, but 3 times. I have 2 screws in my wrist, and
amazing.
This yoga has just been absolutely phenomenal and magical and transformative, and I can actually walk normally again because of, I used to teach yoga, but a different kind, and it was great, but as soon as I found Bikram and I started coming every day, I realized this is what I need to do. This is what's realigning my knee and my entire body and making me feel like a normal person again. And so I stopped teaching the other kind of yoga because I was like, if that's not what I wanted. I'm not trying to harp on any other kind of yoga,
totally
but for me, if you're trying to heal, this is the healing power of this yoga is just unbelievable. It's truly unbelievable, and I continued to hurt my knee. This is the bad leg. After I started doing Bikram, I started to heal it, and then I did this, it was like a yoga sculpt class or something, and it just totally messed up the knee, and it was starting to grind, and when I would go down in awkward posture, part 3, it would grind and feel really bad. And it was during this challenge where, I don't know, it was probably around the 40s or the 50s, in terms of number of days, where it really started to stop grinding no matter what I did. Because before, as I was doing more and more Bikram, it would start to feel better, but I'd have to hold my body in absolutely the perfect way and go down just the perfect way, and it would still grind, every other day. Or maybe in the first part, not in the second part, something like that. But after 40 or 50 days of doing this challenge, which is a real challenge, not like my other ones, where I was actually in the heat and in a real class with exceptional teachers and instruction, that it stopped grinding on every posture, every time. The first and the second and every day. And I've even taken a couple days off because of the power outage. Came back, still running smoothly. And so, like I was saying, the powerful, transformative magic of this yoga is something to behold, truly. So thank you to everybody, the 5 days for your teachers. It was definitely worth the move.
Yeah,
I'm not leaving.
Good, great. We don't want you to leave. You can't leave. No choice. No choice, right? Congratulations again. Pick which one you want. We'll take a picture with it.
Can't have too many watermelons.
Yeah, right. All right, Josh. Congrats. Yay. What a great story, right? Look at him. You never know, right? All that had happened to him. So awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Josh. Okay. Aisha, oh yes, come on up. Wendy. Woo-hoo! Looking beautiful in the 20-year anniversary long sleeve black t-shirt. Yes, fabulous of you. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I think for this 60-day challenge, it's long and it's fast. I feel like, beginning of the year, like this is my first time doing a 60-day challenge. And prior to that, my yoga practice is on and off. I feel like I need it the most when I'm under stress. But then when I feel better, I just, I do some other kind of exercise. I do like new things and keep challenging myself. So yeah, it was just okay. This 60 challenge, I think the start was like I really did it because I want to inspire my husband, Haibo, and he was just like, okay, I'm gonna do it, and you probably want to do it with me. So initially he said yes, but then later on he backed off. I still I signed up, so I was like, I'm just gonna keep trying.
Yeah.
And even that's what I put down in the sign up reason. I'm just gonna keep trying. So no expectation on what is the result. If I finish it, I finish it. If I'm not, I'm not. I feel like it's really probably that kind of mindset kept me going. And I think 60 days, I feel like it was very simple, just coming every day. And normally on a week, I normally miss one day, and then I ended up need to make up for another day. So I did some doubles. And I feel like, doubles initially, you feel like, I would die, doubles, like what would I do? And Haibo was like, you stay for the double, I go grocery shopping, and then, you come back and pick me up. So for the doubles, I feel like I feel like I'm gaining things from doing the doubles. In the second class, toward the end of the class, I feel like I get some insight about myself. I don't know yet in the prior to the class. So it's very, it's not intentionally, I know I will learn something in the double, but then you end up getting it. I feel like during this 60 challenge, I really feel like, I'm learning something new about myself, and it is a continuous learning about myself. So, I want to, stay curious and then keep coming back. And I feel so great about the community. I think, Haibo and I, we were shocked at the 20th year anniversary. We were fairly new at that time, and it was just like, oh wow. It's just like, you feel so happy, even though you are not part of the 20-year journey. We just started, but you feel like you're involved. And it was just like, I think, as Jakey said, it's just, very authentic, very true community. So yeah, I'm very grateful that I found this place, and I'm grateful for everyone, each one of you. Yeah, so thank you.
So are you keeping up your practice now? Yeah. So is it every day or 4 or 5 days a week? Are you consistent now with it?
Yeah.
Is this what you only do, or do you do other things too?
I canceled my own theory classes.
Okay.
So now this is the only one that I'm doing, and it's only meditation and then doing yoga every day.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's great. I personally have loved seeing you come so far, and I love that Haibo is coming so much also that you guys come together. And I saw you at the 20-year anniversary, and I thought it was perfect, right, that you came. I feel like you're instantly like part of the family too. So welcome, and I love you both dearly. Congratulations, that's great. So that means you did not do it. Not this time, Ivo.
Well, I still did it, but I'm sure by 1 or 2 days.
Okay, way to go, way to go. Because you really started to commit and come all the time. Congratulations. Awesome, Whitney. Okay. Yes, yes. Roger. Ladies, next. Roger Chen. Congratulations, buddy. Doing it again.
Thank you. I just wanted to say that I'm so lucky to have the resources to be coached by Cynthia and Michelle, and I can't even believe that I got first place.
I can.
Yeah, it means a lot to me. It gives me so much confidence because I've never, this is my first time being first or even placing the top 3 in anything in my life.
Yes, that's so great. That's so great.
And yeah, I've learned a lot becoming an athlete, and particularly it translates to kind of knowing a little bit more about myself and how I'm coachable in certain ways and not. I think this translates to when I was like in medical training and I was in a room full of advanced students, and I kind of had to kind of know what I was doing in an efficient manner. So I learned so many things, and I think I started, my ability to finish my performance it started out with, before I started this yoga, I was like doing a lot of like marathon, I was doing a lot of like running and kind of just to help me like ward off like bad habits. And so that kind of got me into the door in Bikram. I was like, okay, I'm able to hang with all these, top yogis right next to me. Like I'm in the front of the pack. But I think what really helped me, slow down and actually put together a performance that my parents would be like, okay, that's reasonable, was the community. Was the support from all the other athletes I was training with, coming here every single day and kind of not knowing, kind of just trusting that I was in the right place. So I think that really helped me overcome those quirks that I'm always trying to
Yeah.
So I think giving me this opportunity to really like concentrate on a goal, it really, I like to come up with all sorts of crazy conclusions, but I think it's reasonable to say that this translates to like ability to concentrate and like learning any other skill or career aspiration. So yeah.
You are such a great example of how you've been committed to this yoga for a long time, many years, and you devote yourself like doubles a lot too. And you really, in my eyes, I think started to take who you are seriously. And it's been beautiful to see, right? And I even feel like you stand taller, right? It's so awesome. So congratulations, and let's keep going, right? I think there's more there, right? Yeah, awesome. Congrats. I know, right? Yeah. All right, which one? Sarah or Shirley? Come on up. Oh. Okay. Yeah, we'll do Sarah, then Jeff, then Shirley. Yay! Sarah Newman, 60 days.
So, I've done a lot of these. Not as many as Michelle. I know that I did a 30-day challenge in 2011, and I did a 60-day challenge in 2012, and I've sort of gone on from there, and I don't know how many.
Yeah.
So, different studios, and then I came here. When I come up to share, I'm always like, this is business as usual for me. It's like asking a fish what it's like to be in water, and therefore I often have nothing to say. But what I'm thinking today is what a miraculous waters are swimming. I often stand up on the podium and I say something which is a very important idea from the Bhagavad Gita. Take the actions and the results take care of themselves, and I continue to do this, and the results are exponential and extraordinary. And the community to do it is extraordinary, and that was my experience doing this 60-day challenge, especially like Wendy. I did a bunch of doubles, I had a week off, and I did a bunch of doubles and I loved every single.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
that's it.
Congratulations. Yeah. That's what I said. Right? It just keeps getting better and growing. It's almost like the momentum just keeps going, right? Yeah. Congratulations, Sarah. Yay. Yes. Let's use more of those. Okay, Jeff Aragon, come on up. Guys, we're enjoying all these stories. Jeff, congratulations, 60 days.
Thank you. So it looks like we only have 5:30ers here left. All the hardcores. I have to try that out. I really am afraid of not sleeping. So I'd like to start off with thanking everybody. A lot of people here are teachers, support staff, desk.
That's right. Takes
the
a village.
creator and founder. That is a anchor. When we looked, someone mentioned they moved here. I made sure that we found a place to live in close enough to be here. So that sounded true. I'd also like to apologize. I don't know if anybody, I don't see too many people that are in my classes usually, but I tend to move a lot, and I'm getting quieter, and there's some grunts, and some yelps, and it's getting less, so it's getting better. The 60-day challenge is less important if you really make all the 60 days. It's if you try to get more in than you would have normally, and then you kind of set a new bar for yourself. And that's something I noticed this time. I was going to have some oral surgery, and it was near the end of the 60 days, and I was going to lose the last 4 days. And I thought, I've missed some days too for something else, and I've got to do some doubles. And when I calculated it out, I had exactly 7 days left before I'd be out, and it'd be over. So I had to do doubles for 7 days because I definitively didn't want to miss it this time, right? So I discovered I could do doubles. That's something stretches besides your hamstrings when you try and do a commitment, and I just have to emphasize. Try to do that, but everybody here did. So it's like talking to the choir. So thank you.
Thank you.
I've been urged to tell everybody I'm going to teacher training.
Yay!
A lot of doubles, so
And tell everybody when you started yoga.
1981. My first class was in Ashland, Oregon, from a teacher named Margaret Iris, who used to run Bikram's studio in San Francisco in the years before that. And so I practiced there for 5 years, and she finally got her wish. She'd been trying since she started the studio there in about 1980, I believe, to get Bikram to come up. And of course, Bikram comes up in February and then does nothing but complain about how cold it is. Yeah, it's not Calcutta. And that's when I first saw him. And then he made the mistake of saying anybody here is welcome to come down to my studio in LA. And so a couple months later, I kind of packed everything up and moved down there and practiced with him for another 5 years. And then I had a gap, went to Germany, and when I returned, this magic had happened, which was the creation of all these studios. The teacher training had started in the mid-90s, and these studios were all developing, and finally I could find a studio here, right? Because I moved back from Germany and then kept my eye out for studios in the area, and then San Jose opened. So I've been on and off ever since. So thank you again for...
Yeah, let's wish him well. And it's always been a dream of Jeff's to be a teacher, so I'm just so happy that we're able to support that, you guys. It's exciting. Yay!
Great.
Yes, yeah, congratulations. Yes, that's part of it. That's part of it, right? Awesome. Congrats. Great stories, great stuff, you guys, right? Great stuff to hear. You know. Yes, I know, right? Shirley, yes, is next. Yay, Shirley.
Congratulations, girlfriend. Yeah. So I lost track of how many times I have been doing that. Every time I try my best to do the challenge, and now it's even easier with the live stream going on. Even we are out of town or not able to come to the studio, we can still try it. And Friday 9:15 class, Kelly is the teacher, and she said that we come here to find ourselves. And I thought this is really true, and I totally agree with that. We really come here to find ourselves and also to heal ourselves physically and mentally. So I really have to thank you, Michelle, for having the studio here so we can all enjoy. And the best thing that you can come to this party is get a hug from Michelle. Thank you.
Doing that, you, Shirley. Congratulations, Shirley. That's great. Yay! Awesome.
Thank you.
Hey. Yes! Those bags are popular. Archana? Yes, Archana! So proud of you, Archana. Beautiful. Congratulations, India, too. So great. Yes.
Thank you. So injury, yeah. Injury is both emotional and physical. So I started Bikram Yoga, I think in 2013, in your other studio.
Oh.
But it was off and off. Yeah. Raising 3 kids, full-time working mom, so it was difficult to get done. But I did my first 60-day challenge in 2019, which I did not finish. 40, I think 40 was the number. After 40 days, I couldn't reach it. Then in January 2020, I signed up again. I finished it, and COVID happened. But I finished the 60-day challenge. So, and it is true, like 30 days changes your body, 60 days changes your life. Then, of course, in COVID, I couldn't come. And I think in 2021, October, I have 3 kids. So now, of course, they are teenagers, almost going out. My daughter, so my kids told me, you look happy when you go to Bikram Yoga. You are not after us when you go to Bikram Yoga. You don't pester us, you don't like it. We like it when you go to Bikram Yoga. So you should sign up. I said, it's COVID, I don't know if I can go. She signed up for me.
So she signed up and I came, and then after that I just started coming. I think since October 2021 I can say I'm more of regular. And I signed up 60-day challenge in 2022 again in winters, but 40 days was the again number. I couldn't finish it, but this time I wanted to do it. So I think it's the will and it's the energy of this studio. I have tried other studios, but I don't get so much energy from the teachers, especially all the teachers, Sarah, Kerry, Matt, you. The energy I receive over here, that keeps me coming. And then I meet people, 4:30 classes now. I know I've heard a lot about 5:30. I have attended few times, it's a fun group. But yeah, my day starts at 6 a.m. in the morning, so I cannot come. But 4:30 is the one as I'm like more disciplined. I do see some 4:30 guys here, people, yes. So I think seeing the same face, that keeps us going, connecting with yourself, that keeps us going. Some of the teachers' quotes, every day I take it back. Yeah, it's really good. I take it back with me. I tell it to my kids, whether they listen it or not, I don't care. I have to be consistent. One day I did bring my son, he never came back after that. He said, it's too hot. So that was the version when I entered first time in the Bikram Yoga, I felt like home because I'm from New Delhi and summer is hot over there. I felt like, oh, I'm back to my home. That's my reaction. Yeah. So I think it's the heat, it's the yoga, it's the teachers, it's the energy and the community which keeps me going. And thank you, Michelle. Again, I think someone else also said, I'm fortunate to have a studio close by where I can few minutes drive away and I can come and attend the class. Thank you. You're welcome.
Congratulations. Awesome. All right. Picture with it. Yes. Yay! So powerful.
Sorry, can we do that photo moment too?
Oh,
sorry.
Archana,
One more photo.
gotta come back. Is there anybody else? Aisha? Aisha? Yeah? Thank you, Thomas, for taking pictures. Aisha in the house. You guys, give it up. The one that got you all to sign up in the first place.
If I have to do it, you gotta do it. I don't have to do it, but I choose to. I'm one of the fortunate ones that works here. So I'm here 5 days a week, so my ideal practice is 5 to 6 days a week. So when the 60-day challenge comes, then I just need 1 to 2 extra days. So sometimes I do doubles because I only want to be here 6 days. I want a day off. And so this year, this challenge, not this year. The last 2 challenges I did all the 48 spots, practice with all the teachers, all the time slots. So this time I just kept it simple. And it was actually nice. I didn't have to think about which spot I'm gonna go to. I just focused on the practice. I only did doubles when I had to, which I'm known to do doubles all the time. And it was nice not to just come in and practice. And like Sarah said, it's not easy, but it's simple. So you just focus and pay attention. And most of the time I try to learn something from each teacher. Just like something as simple as like Laju said, you don't have to look at your feet when they say, put your feet up off a triangle or something. Just do it and kind of get your body used to it without having to look down. Or just simple things. You could just decide that something you're gonna, or when Matt says, like sit in the chair, So I tried to just keep this time, just keep it simple, and it worked out for me. So,
how do you feel?
I feel great.
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah. I finished in it was like, oh, okay, I'm done. It was not like focusing on like, oh my God, I'm stressed out, I gotta finish. And I think part of me was like, I'll do what I can. One of the days I had a really hard day. I had to go out there and was kind of cramping and maybe was a little bit dehydrated and had a little panic attack. So I skipped one day and then I came back the next day and I was not thinking, oh my God, it's gonna happen again. It was just like, okay, it happened, let go of it. It's okay. You know, I've done many times that it did not happen, so I didn't focus on it happening again. So, but yeah, it's great. And of course, the community.
We love you all. Things together for us, which I appreciate so much. You're a very special person. Thank you. This girl was a marathon runner, right? I'm still sorry.
Yeah, my goal is to run on all 7 continents. So I've done the Great Wall of China, I've done Berlin, I've done New York 3 times. I've done many marathons and many half marathons, and I still want to continue. But this yoga actually, I'm sorry not to keep going on, is what I started doing to heal me from my running. So this was my recovery place. And now I chose this. I would rather do doubles than do marathons. Do many 6-day challenges than do marathons, but I still want to do the marathons.
So if you're going to do the 7 that also includes that time to go.
Yes, but I might skip
so
that.
That time to go, get a hop done.
Yeah, there you go.
You'll need it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
That's the only one that I might not do because I heard people lose their toes.
Oh yeah, not worth it.
No, it's not. It's not. I might skip that one.
Yeah. It's all good. Thank you. All right, let's get a picture. Which one are you going to take? All right, yes. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Yes. Oh, is anybody, did we miss anybody? I did it as well. And it was one of the harder challenges. I think I've done all but one. I was in a dance concert and I was so exhausted I just needed to rest. So I didn't do one of the challenges particular time. But for some reason, well, I shouldn't say for some reason, this particular one, because of the anniversary, I thought I was going to miss a lot of days. So in my mind, there was a time, believe it or not, that I thought I just wouldn't sign up for it. But of course, my name is the top one on there. So my name was already up, and I thought, you know what, I'll just go ahead and try. And I was telling Matt, I didn't miss as many days as I thought I was going to with the anniversary party. So I said, you know what, just keep going. But what happened is I wound up some days being in the hot room for like 4 or 5 hours, and here I'm telling you guys not to have it, right? And I would be so dehydrated, so that I didn't come like and take class the next day, right? And I'm like you guys, I love my yoga, I want to have my yoga, but I'm also smarter the older I get, the wiser I get with the yoga, that I don't need to obsessively do it every single day. So I thought, you know what, maybe I won't do it. But honestly, it's because of all of you. I didn't have to do it. I don't have to prove anything. Not that you have to either. But I was so inspired to do some doubles because Sarah, you were doing some doubles, and I had done doubles before and I felt good at doing some doubles. But then I got like 2 behind, 3 behind, and I thought, oh my gosh, no. And there were days, you guys, it was really hard for me to kind of come. And also too, I feel personally that I'm on the edge of being somebody more than what I am today. And the yoga has been super grounding for me to show up in the next moment that I need to show up for, more than I've ever had to show up. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And I don't want to back off. I know that I'm on the cusp of something. So if you're listening to this, right, how many of us sometimes, right, we kind of teeter into like new territory of the advancement of our own soul and being? And I don't want to do that. I want to stay moving forward, and I know the yoga is just comforting me and supporting me into this new territory. And some of it is not very comfortable or pretty, but that's life, right? We all have situations, and I want to show up for them in the best way I can possibly be. So, with that said, this was a hard challenge to finish, but you know what? It was so enjoyable to have finished it. I was so nervous, I counted my stars. You had me count them, and I was too short. Oh, man, and you know what, too? What's funny is I couldn't celebrate with you guys. Do you remember being in the room? Somebody would raise your hand. I'm like, I can't raise my hand, I'm not really sure. I went home and counted, and I did 61. So there you go, I did one more, right? So anyway, I am deeply grateful for all of you. I can speak to everybody that supports BYSJ. You know, we all believe in this yoga, and we just see, and I've seen it when I first started this yoga, you know, back in 1998 in August. I remember my first day, and it was so hard, but I was watching what it was doing for everybody, and I just knew that this was something that needed to be shared and spread. So I'm proud of all of us. Yay! All right, you guys. So will we see you all tomorrow? 6 a.m.? No. 6 a.m. 8, 10, 4:30. That's why we have all the classes. Thank you so much for showing up, everybody. Right? Congratulations, everyone. Good night.